welcome you to the Reporters Weekly Review Show. I am Lillian Aqua, and you can follow us on Facebook Ghtv Holland, YouTube Ghtv Holland, and on Instagram Ghtv Holland. You can equally send your message via WhatsApp on 0249 149202, 0249 149202. We take a quick breather, and after I introduce to you my guest, do stay with us. Welcome back from the break. With me here, I have my special guests. They are reporters and students too. They are student reporters as well. I have with me Jefferson. Jefferson, you are welcome to the show. Juliet, you are welcome to the show. How has your weekend been, Jeff?
Oh, somehow good.
Somehow good. Okay.
It's been good.
It's been good. It's fine. With all the issues happening in Ghana, you still okay?
Well, with the issues, if you're going to focus on them, you would have a bad day, but you just have to overlook certain things and live life. So.
Okay, you have to overlook the issues and move on with your life. Jeff, what about you?
Well, I think it's the same thing she said.
The same thing
Yeah.
she said. Okay, so you can follow us on Facebook Ghtv Holland, YouTube Ghtv Holland, Instagram Ghtv Holland, and you can send your message on WhatsApp on 0249 149202. So I start with you, Juliet. There's a ladies first, so I think I'll start with you. There has been this kidnapping issue that is ongoing very well in Takoradi, and the police are back on trip going to SHS in Takoradi, telling students to be very careful in like how they roam in the town and stuff. It's like they're giving them safety tips. What do you think about what the police are doing?
I think it's a good initiative because education is the right way to go. So if they are educating, I think it should start from the basic schools. Even though they are doing the SHS, it should start from the basic schools because they are younger and maybe they are defenseless, if I may put it. So if you start with them and they get to the SHS, they will be well informed and know how to do things. But then they going to the SHS is also not a bad idea because all these vices starts from that side. So it's the best initiative they could ever put in place.
You are saying it would be best if they start from
the
basic
basic schools.
Okay. But on the same, don't you think the basic schools, some of these schools have buses that convey them to their various homes? That's why they chose to start with the SHS.
But you know, it's not all schools. There are public schools that don't have buses that convey students. Some of these students cross roads, they meet people who offer them lifts and all that. They are also at risk. So it would have been best if the police was to start with the basics. Or let me put it this way, the public schools, the public basic schools, that would be better because most private schools have buses that convey their students. So it could have been best. Like, that's my opinion. So, like, if they decided to start with the public basic schools.
So, you did say about lifts. Is it possible for a 14-year-old boy or girl to accept a lift at that tender age? Is it that possible?
If I'm not informed, I'll say it's a nice gesture from an adult. So if I'm working in the sun and someone offers to help me get to my destination faster and easier, why wouldn't I accept it? I'll freely accept because I don't know what is happening. I'm not informed, right? And the focus is on the SHS. While me, the basic school students, don't know anything about the kidnapping. And even if I'm aware, I don't know into details what leads to this and that. So if we start the education with the basic school students, they will be informed enough to turn down lifts from strangers and know how to deal with strangers when they meet them.
Jeff, what do you think?
Well, I think it's also good though. It's good for them, the police, to go there, advise them. In this case, we see the children and the young adults of this century, they like money. They always aim for money. And for that matter, they are only going to use monetary ways to capture them.
Okay.
So for that matter, you have to go to them, go into the basic schools, go into the senior high schools, and even the tertiary level. Because we are all out for money. You get what I'm saying? That is how everything is supposed to be. What they did was the right thing to do.
But I know that tertiary level funded, like, so how can they be kidnapped? Really?
Say we need to see opinion, why not doing so baby?
Okay.
You get it? If I am certain to do something, what I'm going to do, I use my own ways and means to do it. And I'm going to make sure it succeeds. You get it? So we need to see opinion, what we are saying.
Okay. So, isn't that vehicle is the only means for kidnapping them, or there are other means used for kidnapping the youth and kids of these days?
I can't say it's only vehicle.
Okay.
There are so many ways and means of killing a cat. At least if I want to kidnap children, I won't only use vehicles. I would maybe use, I would try to send the kid through the sending, go this way, go take something for me and all that. Through that I can capture the kid. It's only good for adults and people to advise their children. The way they go about or they carry themselves around. That is what I think.
Okay. Julian said it's good to start from the basic before going to the senior high level. And Jen is also saying that the elderly should advise us, and this is because those who are ready for kidnapping the youth and the kids will use money and other stuff to get whatever that they want, because there are many ways in killing a cat. Moving on, there was a by-election at West Iowa, so we're on that constituency, and I guess you know what happened, Jeff.
Yeah, the beating of let's use that one.
Okay, the violence and the violence. Okay. What do you think? What happened? Is it the best thing for the army men to do, or there are other alternatives that they could do to curb issues that might arise during the elections?
Okay, so talking about security, they were thinking that was the best security, the way to control that. But you can take security to another level. It's not to the level of beating people and all that. At least taking care of that constituency in their election or their by-election shouldn't be only about being so harsh with them or harsh over them. You get it? So if I want to control someone and I talk to the person politely, do you think the person wants to listen? At least the person will give you respect for the outfits you are even wearing. You get it? They are military men and policemen. We give them respect. So if you try to advise me, try to tell me to do this, to do that, to do this, do you think I won't do it? That is the only thing they have to do, was to just be patient with them, not to be rude with them.
Okay. You see, sometimes being patient might lead to something else. Maybe they wouldn't listen to them at all. That's why they also took that strategy to do that. Or
at least you should have tested that. There are so many ways, as I said at first. You should have tested them. You shouldn't be say like you are in haste. You want them to know you are the policeman, you are the military man around. Nah, you should be patient with them. We are all human. You get it?
But they think they did that for security purposes.
There are so many ways. Like the security things, you can't tell me security and so security you have to bully people. Security and so security there shouldn't be violence. You get it? Security can be taken to so many levels. You would be given this post to take over these people. It depends on the way or ways and means you do communicate with them. If you can't talk to me in a harsh way, I won't be happy. You get it? I'll be so, like, I would also show you disrespect. So, if you come to me as an elderly person, you talk to me, even if I'm older than you, and you talk to me in a polite manner, you've given me the platform to also talk to you in a polite manner. Even though, say, we Ghanaians are not the same, we are never equal. We have so many people. That is why we say we are a country, or we are country. You get it? We constitute of so many people. So if you make up your mind, you're just going to relate rudely to this person, then expect the same thing.
Julian.
Well, from my perspective, I don't think violence is the right way to go about anything. If there are so many ways you could use dialogue and many other ways to get your voice heard or to get your claims achieved and all that. So what happened there with the shooting and all, I think Ghana as a country, we are way beyond that. I think we are known for our peace. So if we are going to ruin this this way that people know us to be through these by-elections, it's so improper. Because as a nation, our security should be our topmost priority. So if during a peaceful election that we claim to or we want to achieve, and then you individuals go in to torment the lives of voters or try to rig elections or pick up the ballot boxes and all that, we are way beyond that as a country. I think we should focus on other things as a nation. Like, we should have priorities, and our priorities shouldn't be on people trying to rig elections or trying to stop elections and all that. We are way beyond that. We should concentrate on the best things that we could do as a nation that will portray our peace to the other countries. If we are going to choose violence, I don't think Ghana will be Ghana. We would all have to run out of the country. So what happened there wasn't the best, and the shooting and the carrying of ballot boxes and all that, it wasn't the best for us as a country. It doesn't speak well of us. So if I'm a foreigner that comes into the country and I hear of this, I don't think Ghana will be as peaceful as I thought it would be to me. So I'd want to go out and all that.
So what do you think it would happen if they had allowed some stubborn people to move on with? I'm sure some citizens portray certain attitude. That's why it's also led to that actions.
That's why we have the police. That's why we have the army. They are there to correct people. They are our friends. We don't have to be afraid of them. So if you are doing something wrong and they come to you and talk to you gently about it, you should accept as an individual. We should always be ready for correction. So if they come to you and they talk to you about maybe what you are doing is not good, stop it, put an end to it, do it this way, we should accept it or embrace it as people if we want to really promote our peace.
So
as a nation.
What do you think those who are stubborn, what do you think they should do to them? Because I'm very sure there were some stubborn people there.
You being stubborn,
Yes.
you would show yourself in so many ways. As a stubborn guy, when he sees an elderly person who wants to, he or she wants to prove stubborn to the person.
You see, there are certain people that, like, though they wanted a peaceful election, but some people wanted it other way around. You see, there are people like that. When there is election, there is no way that all constituencies will have a peaceful election. We have people who will do other things that will even get the army men angry. What do you think those people, what should they do to them?
Anger shouldn't lead you to do the wrong thing. You are a public servant. You are working for the state. So you shouldn't let your anger override your conscience. You shouldn't let your anger lead you to do things against humanity. So if I come to the polling station and I misbehave, there are other measures you can take rather than beating me up or anything of that sort. You can arrest me. It's the best. Keep me in custody. So maybe you talk to me and then I decide to change. Then you can let me go. But you beating me up to that extreme, I think it's so inhumane. It's not the right way to go.
Okay, Jeff.
Okay, so you beating me up, you are not going to beat the devil out of me. You get it?
Yes.
When you say you're going to beat me up, you are not beating me out of them. Even though some people do that. But when you beat me up, I'll go somewhere else and make the same thing. So you just have to just arrest the person. Then you make the law deal with it. You don't put the law into your hands. You get what I'm saying?
So just the same, we shouldn't put the law into our hands. And Julia said we shouldn't let anger override our conscience. Yes. We take a quick break, and after we continue with the rising issues in Ghana. Do stay with us.
It's here again! Conference of Heads of Churches and Organizations. The Ghana Pentecostal and Charismatic Council GPCC presents 2019 Conference of Heads of Churches and Organizations. Heads of Churches, General Secretaries, Regional Chairmen, and Regional Secretaries will converge at one place to build capacity as GPCC marks 50 years as a council. Date 13 to 14 February 2019. Venue Pentecost Convention Center PCC Gomuafete Kaswa. Theme Ghana Pentecostal and Charismatic Council, celebrating 50 years of Pentecostal influence. Acts chapter 2. Speakers: Reverend Professor Paul Frimpong Manson, Right Reverend Sam Crunchy Ankra, Reverend Dr. Seth Ablo, Most Reverend Charles Ajinasari, Bishop Samuel Noy Mensah, and many more. It's 50 years of GPCC. Come, let's join hands to build a stronger family for our Lord. For any information, please call 020-7705-329.
Bushafo wa broche wadofo wa broche aya na wo pese utu omonkra nanso wonim ekwan ya obefa so a omonsa ka onkra to ana ene tie Ghtv Holland for the dwumadie won waso bia ya to din greetings from GH and otie ye di abroche ko Ghana ene ye di Ghana aba abroche dwumadie ba ma wakonya e ma wachia wabusuafo ne wadofo a ewa abroche wo wie sa na wo wie yo wo pese ebisa enyom je a eda wakoma so ema omo ahu se na yadwin omo ho pa mi a me di dwumadie ho chia me ediane Alberta Mansa Emisa enso se wo hia me abonten a wo betimi afre me se nyame hira me na se eya we ya mejo so se and the way suspect
ai eye efiada we ani efiada bia efri enwumre no wotwe ekosi enwumre no nkono eso hwe na wo so ani baji hu bebere.
Where do you near summer's na hindi to reach say out there I didn't know when share me efiada any kwesiada bia 6 to 7 p.m. our Ghtv Holland eye ohene ayeye the King's Praise eye osori enko a ye tuntum nyankopon ni aye ne kese ye frɛ me Lady Ann me na me di dwumadie ho chia me enyi wo firi.
Welcome back from the break. This is the Reporters Weekly Review Show. You can follow us on Facebook Ghtv Holland, YouTube Ghtv Holland, on Instagram Ghtv Holland, and you can send your messages via WhatsApp on 0249 149202, 0249 1942, 0249 149202. So we continue with our discussions. So moving on, GJ sends a message to journalists. GJ tells us that we should heighten our security senses. What do you think pushed GJ to tell journalists this?
Okay, so I think it's all about the death of Hamid, the killing of Hamid. You get it? If I'm not mistaken, if he had tightened his security, he didn't know anything about that, but he knew his personality had already been exposed, and that was something that would give them the platform for something bad to happen. We all didn't expect that, but as a journalist, you just don't have to go around exposing yourself. You don't have to expose yourself looking at your standard, because yours, I don't know how to put it, but the way you present yourself would make people like you or not. If if I say I'm a journalist, and for that matter, I think being a journalist is something normal. I'll be normal till normal comes. You get it? Saying this in the normal state is that when I say I'm being normal, I'm just there. Never baby embra. Anything that comes, it should come. But you should respect your standard as a journalist. Protect yourself. Present yourself in a best way. Being a journalist is not something easy. You would go through so many things. Don't expect everybody to like you. Don't expect everybody to hate you. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, like it.
So, as a journalist, you should always be prepared. Not prepared to go fight or that. Nah. Find ways and means to protect yourself. You get it? I know it was good for them to advise us or to send a message to journalists on what they are supposed to do. But here lies the case. If he hadn't died, would they come around to tell us what to do? As in to give us the advice? No. We will still be normal, living our normal state life. But since they saw his death and all that, and they brought out an advice or a letter or anything, a news, or it's not news though, an advice for us as journalists, I think it's the best.
Jeff, you were saying something that as journalists we shouldn't expose ourselves. But Ahmed never exposed himself. He never did that. He was exposed by some people, not him.
If he never exposed himself, he wouldn't have been exposed. He wouldn't get it.
Yes, I don't get it. Because he didn't expose himself. Probably before he became a journalist, there would be others who knew him before he came to that field.
But they didn't. The point is, they didn't know this was what he was doing till he was revealed, like by someone else, right?
Yes. So he didn't reveal himself.
But at least when you found out that your identity is out there, there could be measures you could put in place to protect yourself. Maybe move out of the place you live now, or something of that sort. But he didn't do that. He lived freely. He did whatever he was doing normal. And to someone, the work he does is very dangerous. The work of the investigative journalist, the undercover investigative journalist, is very dangerous. You know, there are many people who are looking to harm you, or who are looking for you to do whatever they want to do to you because of some news you brought out because of them, about them, right? So you have to always be security conscious. We in Ghana and in Africa as a whole, we are not really security conscious, and it's something that really bothers us. If you are someone can go out of his house and not lock the door or think nobody will walk in because there's nothing in there, but you don't know who watches you. Someone might harm you because of something they think you have, or maybe you dress nicely so they think you have money, but deep down you know you don't have anything. All these things are measures you can put measures in place to protect yourself. So Ahmed, for instance, when he found out his identity was out there, he could have protected himself, his family, by maybe moving out of the area in which he was, because your face is out there. People know you to be this. Maybe before they didn't know that was what you were doing, but they see you passing by and all that. But now they found out that this the particular job you are doing. So your life is at risk. The life of your family is at risk. So the best thing he could have done is to try to protect himself by maybe moving out of his vicinity, moving into a new place, or maybe finding a hideout somewhere that nobody knows of him. Because around Medina and all that, people knew about him a lot. And speaking from the point of journalists, I think it doesn't depend on us solely to protect ourselves. The state has a role to play in protecting us, because we are doing every work we do as journalists is in the interest of society. So if our lives are at risk and the state can't do anything to protect us, how do we deal with that, right? So the states and, let me say, government should put measures in place for that will safeguard the lives of journalists. It doesn't solely rest on us, the journalists, because I'm helpless. I may be doing my work and I'll step on many toes. I don't know who is after me to kill me, right? So I may not be that much security conscious. But you, the state, know that whatever I'm doing is in your best interest. Put measures in place that will protect me as an individual, right? And that will be the best protection we can ever get. If the state backs us, then we know we are safe, we are protected, and we are okay to do our job, which is always in the interest of society.
Okay. Jeff, you are a journalist. You are trying your best to protect yourself. You want the government to also help in protecting you. What do you expect government to do for you to protect you? You said government, you can't do it all by yourself. So you need the help of the government, like the state. What should government do for you as a journalist?
You see, let's go to the MPs. You see, they are protected.
Sure.
Yeah, they are MPs, and so they are protected. At least, this is also important. The level at which an MP is important, that is the same level at, I don't see any difference. That is the same level at which a journalist is also important. The journalist will go so far, let's say, an undercover journalist. He will go so many ways, find so many ways in order to get a new story. And when this person is going through all this, you expect the person to be free. At least with some security, as journalists, we would need the government to give us. If we are journalists, we can't protect ourselves. You would be asked to go search for a news or go cover a story somewhere, and you go there, you'll be beaten up. The story that came up some time ago, they were like, they saw the journalist as markets wherever, and he had to take some slaps. You think when the journalist was protected, or he was given a security, or given security, you think the journalist would be beaten up? No. Some petty things are there that the government should see to that.
But can I come in? Like, with what you said, right? I believe journalists, we are really not appreciated enough in our society.
As Juliet, you see, we have journalists and we have journalists. We have trained journalists. In Ghana now, everyone can wake up and be a journalist.
No, journalism is a profession, right?
Okay.
So in order to be recognized as a journalist, you must go through some kind of training, be under some kind of institution like the GJA before you can be recognized as a journalist. There are journalists, right? In media work, there are journalists, there are presenters, there are producers, and all. They all have a role they play. It doesn't mean they are all journalists. No, it's not everybody who sits on TV or radio that is a journalist. No, it doesn't work that way. You have to. It is a profession, right? And a profession is guided by certain things. These things can be you going in for some kind of formal education, you getting a certificate or a degree that is awarded to you to perform or do your duties as a journalist, and then you should be under some kind of institution that has laws or ethics that guides everything that you do. So as a journalist, you must be under GJA, you must have at least been educated or have some level of education with regards to the media work and all that. All these things count. It's not everybody that's on radio or TV that is a journalist.
Okay, we have trained journalists
Yes.
who don't work under GGA. They're not part of GGA. Do you get what I'm
Yes,
saying? We have such people. So what should those people also do? They are trained and they are not under GGA, but yet they do report and bring news stories.
The best thing as a journalist in Ghana here is to always be under GJA. That is our umbrella. That is the let me say the institution we are all working under. If you want your work to be recognized, if you want to enjoy certain kinds of benefits as a journalist practicing in Ghana, you must always strive to be a member of the GJA. It is the best thing any journalist can do.
Okay, I would like you to explain something. If you say should go under GJ, do you think it's so easy?
It's not. I'm not saying it's easy. It's an institution, so you just have to register under them. When you were in school, okay, I'm in GIJ now, right? And then there are forms going around. You can register as a GJ member, like GIJ chapter member. And then after that, when you start practicing, there are GJ offices you can go to, pick up forms, fill it, and then you practice as a journalist. It's not that much work.
It's not that much.
It's not that much.
Yeah.
If you are really willing to go under the institution, even if it takes heaven and hell, you will go through it to
We are all
join
not
it
the same.
for your benefits.
Our monetary states, we are all not the same.
What's the monetary aspect?
Listen,
Okay.
you would say, I'm coming, let me just correct something there.
Okay.
You would say you have to go wherever, to GJ, wherever. Some people wish to be journalists, but they do not have the monetary means. What do you say about that?
They wish to be journalists. So first of all, they are not even journalists. If you are not a journalist, you can't join GJ.
Okay.
Right.
Joining GJ, isn't that free or you have to pay certain money?
Well, I can't tell.
You can't.
I
tell.
don't know.
Okay, but I know some students who are at GJ, that is GIG chapter.
Okay.
But even they being in school and they just want to be a part of GJ, they still have to pick up forms, pay some money.
Yes, of course.
So
Listen,
just
there
imagine
are-
being students and you are paying money to join GJ.
Listen,
Just an institution chapter.
if you
And being part of Ghana, you're a journalist in Ghana.
if you want the best, right, there are certain sacrifices you have to put in place. There are certain sacrifices you have to do. So if you want to enjoy certain freedoms, so GIJ, joining GIJ chapter, for instance, they give you internship platforms. They give you so many benefits you enjoy. So if you are to pay certain amount of money at once and then being a member of GIJ chapter and then enjoying all these benefits, won't you do it? You think of what you are going to get after registering. That is the best thing. But if you are going to just focus on the monetary aspect or whatever sacrifice you are going to put in place, then I don't think you would be motivated enough to join it.
Gillian, you know something? People pay these monies and join GJ in like an institution. They join it, but it's very difficult for them to get even internship letters to intern in the media houses. Jeff, what do you think?
That is true.
I do hear stories on that.
It has happened to me before. I won't deny that.
So for that, why do you have to say you shouldn't have grounds on that?
So
Listen,
is
you
it
should
that
just
if there
express
is no
something on it.
GJ and if you're a journalist and you need protection and you're not part of GJ, it wouldn't work for you or what?
Look, I'm not saying joining GJ is I don't know what to put it. But
You
then,
said it's
listen,
the best. You get
it's
some
the best.
benefit.
It's the
so
best.
if you don't
Listen,
join GJ, you are not going to get certain benefits.
it's like
or-
you being a lawyer and not being part of the Ghana Bar Association, or being a doctor and not being part of the Ghana Medical Association, right? Like whatever you do is not guided by certain ethics. If I'm a journalist and then there are certain ethics that guide our actions or everything we put out there as journalists, right? So if I'm not a member of GJ, right, and then I put in something that goes contrary to theirs, anybody at all can come up to me and then attack me, right? So if I'm a member of GJ, I know that there are certain things I'm not supposed to do. So if there's a child rape victim and I'm reporting on that, I'm not supposed to show the person's face and all that because the person is a minor. I have to protect identities and all that. These are trainings you get from GJ. They are ethics that guide your profession. Do you understand? So all these things are benefits. It guides you through your practice of journalism. It's not always about the monetary part or any benefits you get from GJ.
I want to make something clear here. It's like you have this mindset that going to GJ is best, I know.
Yes.
But I'm a human being. You get it? I need shelter. Do I just have to stand up and go see? I see this 5-bedroom house. Just stand up and go to this 5-bedroom.
Juliet,
Listen.
do you know
Wait,
something?
let me answer him. Look, so if you wanted to join GIJ, right? You wanted to be a student of GIJ.
Okay.
You went ahead to buy forms
Okay.
to join, to be a student of GIJ. You bought admission forms, applied and all that, and you were accepted. So what stops you from making that one sacrifice, that will usher you into GJ. I don't think they are charging like 1,000 Ghana. No.
Going to GIJ is something on its own, and GIJ has a lot of packages.
Why are you giving excuses? No, he's a lazy journalist.
I'm not.
I'm
I'm trying to make some points for you.
What was the point?
It's like you're only saying you want, if you are a journalist, you should be part of GJ.
Yes.
But it shouldn't be said, oh sorry, then you just go in.
What does it take? What
it takes something.
What?
It takes your efforts. It takes monetary something.
Of
so you
course.
shouldn't just stand up and be like, I want to be a member of GJ.
And that's what I'm saying. Every good thing comes with sacrifices. So if I want to go to heaven, I have to make the sacrifice of going to church every day, praying to God. Those are sacrifices you do if you want the best in life. Right.
But Juliet, you were saying something that if you join GJ, you get to know some ethics. I know these ethics are being taught in school. How to report, how to report and other stuff. They are being taught in school.
GJ doesn't teach
and
you how
even
to
if you are
report.
in school, you get to know the ethics, GJ ethics. We have people, recognized journalists in this country who are not under GJ.
Of course.
But yes, they do report.
They do. But for certain kind of things you would want to enjoy as a journalist, listen. So if there is maybe a high-ranking press conference somewhere, and you are not a member of GJ, and I am, and I have the GJ, a badge from GJ, I can be allowed to go in freely because I'm under a recognized institution. Whereas you are going as a freelance journalist or not under any recognized body or institution like the GJ. Me going in will be much easier than you going in. Why? Because those kinds of programs, they don't allow just anybody to go there. So you come in and tell me you're a journalist and show me a card and then they'll let you in. No. But when you come in and then you have maybe a GJ recognition, they know that yes, this is a professional journalist. This is someone who is recognized to do good work. They are guided by the ethics of GJ and they know what they are about. And then they'll be allowed to go in. You were saying something?
Yeah.
Registration.
Yeah, we actually agree with
I just don't agree.
I don't know why you're
I agree with you saying you have to be registered.
You
with
have to.
GJ.
I'm not saying
it's one thing.
die-hard thing. You not everybody is a member of GJ. I know many journalists who are doing it big out there who are not members of GJ. But the best thing as a journalist is to be a member of GJ. I'm not saying strictly, no. It's your decision as an individual. But the best thing, or it will be ideal for any journalist to be part of GJ or to be under the GJ
Okay,
umbrella.
I think someday we have to take this issue and discuss it solely. Alright, let's take a break and after we continue with our discussions.
It's here again! Conference of Heads of Churches and Organizations. The Ghana Pentecostal and Charismatic Council GPCC presents 2019 Conference of Heads of Churches and Organizations. Heads of churches, general secretaries, regional chairmen, and regional secretaries will converge at one place to build capacity as GPCC marks 50 years as a council. Date 13 to 14 February 2019. Venue Pentecost Convention Center PCC Gomuafete Kaswa. Theme Ghana Pentecostal and Charismatic Council, celebrating 50 years of Pentecostal influence. Acts chapter 2. Speakers: Reverend Professor Paul Frimpong Manson, Right Reverend Sam Crunchy Ankra, Reverend Dr. Seth Ablo, Most Reverend Charles Ajinasari, Bishop Samuel Noy Mensah, and many more. It's 50 years of GPCC. Come, let's join hands to build a stronger family for our Lord. For any information, please call 020-7705-329.
Where do you woo? Near Sama's oh, Nahidi to Richard oh. Say out there, I didn't know who share me. If you ada any kwesiada bia 6 to 7 p.m. Our Ghtv Holland. Eyo ohene ayeyi, the King's Praise. Eyo osori enko a. ye tuntum nyankopon ni aye ne kese ye frɛ me Lady Ann me na me di dwumadi no ho chia me enyi wo firi
Uwe busiafo wa brochire wadofo wa brochire aya na wo pese wotu omonkra nanso wonim ekwan a obefa so a omonsa aka onkra to ana ene yetie Ghtv Holland for the dwumadi wonwaso bia ya to din greetings from GH and oteye ye di abrochire ko Ghana ene ye di Ghana aba abrochire dwumadi mama wakonya ema wachia wabusuafo ne wadofo a ewa abrochire wo wie sa na wo wie yo wo bese ebisa enyom je a eda wakoma so ema omo ehun se na yadwin omo ho pa me a me di dwumadi ho chia me ediane Alberta Mansa Emisa enso se wo hia me abonten a wo betimi afrɛ me se nyame hira me na se eya wo ya mejo so se ende wo ye suspect
ai eye efiada we eni efiada bia efiri enwumre no nwotwe ekosi enwumre no nkono eso hwe na wo so ani bagye hu bebere
Ghtv Holland. This is the Reporters Weekly Review Show. If you missed any of our discussion, you can follow us on Facebook Ghtv Holland, on YouTube Ghtv Holland, and on Instagram Ghtv Holland. We continue with some entertainment stories. So I start with Juliet first.
Started with here.
Just I'll start with you. Is it Juliet?
You keep starting.
Some actors and actresses, that some characters in the movie industry are saying that the industry is dead. Some are also saying it is partially dying. What do you see? You are in Ghana. I'm sure you watch Ghanaian movies.
Yeah. To me, I think Ghana movie industry is partially dying. It's not dead.
Okay.
At least they do produce. Some people watch, some do not watch.
Okay.
Here lies the case. If we all do not watch, we claim it is dead. But when I say it's partially dying, I'm trying to make a point that Ghana, we looking at our movie industry, we like imitating the Americans. We imitate so many countries, and we are making their culture take us off. They are exposing us to what do we say? The culture of different countries. Some movies you would see Ghanaians portraying the culture of Nigerians. This is how it's supposed to be. Which means you are trying to expose the Nigerians or the Nigerian movie industry to us. You get it? You are rather promoting theirs, not ours. So if it's dying, it's our own fault. We have our own culture that we have to portray. We have to expose. We have to show people. But we are not doing that. You get it?
Yeah.
We are just putting up Nigerian, then Americans, China, India, Japan, then movies.
But Jeff, don't you think because most Ghanaians are moving away from Ghanaian movies, that's why they also try to do what will suit our interests?
It's our own fault. At first, when they were showing this cantata portraying our own,
So for that.
yeah, we used to watch it. You get it? We used to watch it. But here, you see, they start to show Nigerian characters or the culture of Nigerians, and you expect us to watch the Ghanaian movies. You make us see, say, Nigerian culture is so nice, and so for that matter, we Ghanaians have to adapt to that. So we would rather watch their movies than our own industry.
Okay, so I get you, because even in some movies, instead of Ghanaians tying a scarf, they rather go for gele instead of duku.
Take it. Let me make a point here. You see, China, was it then India,
Yeah.
Nigerians, immediately one character acts something small, then there will be a song side. They will sing. It's not for us. We didn't start with that. that side is even known for the Indians and Nigerians. But here, in this century, as we find ourselves, you see Ghanaian movie industry putting up then Indian movies and stuff. You'll be like, the person will just say something, then sorrow, then you start to sing.
Juliet.
Happiness, then you start to dance. like, not saying if you're happy you shouldn't dance, but some points or some characters are mainly known for, they are known for different countries, not us. So we are rather exposing their culture to us. So we would rather go in for this than to stick to ours.
So what you are saying is we should appreciate our culture.
That is it.
And act according to our culture, so that Ghanaians will also patronize the movies.
That is it.
Okay, Juliet, what do you think?
Well, for me, I don't remember the last time I watched a Ghanaian movie.
Really?
Sincerely. Like, especially the Kumawood side. I don't remember the last time I did. Because I lost interest when, okay, I used to watch a lot of the old ones, like the Kumasi, Yonkwo, those kind of movies. Those movies have some kind of advice or some kind of lesson at the end. So you watch it and then at the end you learn something from it. But here like the case now, they are portraying, if not witchcraft, then it's a ghost. And even that ghost is going to cross a road and looks
Which
left
means
and right.
we all can when you are portraying an attitude of witchcraft or whatever, which means we are also watching it in order to learn it. Because if we don't learn from the movie, in every movie they produce, it's either you learn something from it,
Yes.
or you stay away from some stuff through that movie. So if you are showing me witchcraft or movie filled with witchcraft, you want me to be a witch, Abby?
You know, our movies are part of our creative arts, right? And it also plays a part in tourism. So if I'm out there and I'm going through YouTube and then I see a Ghanaian movie, and this movie doesn't portray Ghanaian culture in any way, I don't think I'll watch it. No, because you are trying to do something someone else is doing, and if you don't even do it well, that's the thing. You try to do it and you do it anyhow, like haphazardly. It's not the right way, or you overdo it. You understand? It's like,
What is overdo?
yes, they overdo it seriously, because you trying to portray a ghost. You must make sure look is passing, but you see a ghost standing by the roadside trying to go down and look left and right, look left again. No, what are you trying to tell me? You know, it gets boring to some extent. So if you are going to production, like those Kumawood especially, I'll concentrate on them most, because I don't think they are portraying the rich Ghanaian culture we have here. No, they are not doing their best to promote it. They are only trying to copy blindly, and it's not the best for our country. So if they are going to, the producers or the directors are going to choose good concepts or good stories that they'll use in their stories, it would have been best than to try to copy some other culture, trying to push it into ours and not even doing it well. Because if I start watching a movie and then it's obvious this person is trying to force and do something I know of, and the person is not even doing it well,
as if
then
we've watched American movies, the way they shoot. You see a Ghanaian, American will be shot down, the person will die at once.
But they will shake on the floor.
A Ghanaian movie, in a Ghanaian movie, it will be like, okay, I'm about to shoot you, and say your last prayers, and I'll just shoot you. Okay, you shot.
It will take someone like 30 minutes to die. Like, who does that? It gets boring.
Meanwhile, you've taken like 6 bullets in you. You'll be like, oh, like, you get it.
Yeah,
And a typical American movie would never expose that. We are trying to copy them, but it's something blind.
Then times that those times when Kumawood was Kumawood, when Messi Siedu, when Lanama McBrown, Echako, all of those, they made the watching the Ghanaian movies a
So
delight.
nice.
They made it, because I would always go in during those times. I would always go in for that movie over any telenovela. But now they are not portraying good stories. They are not putting out good concepts. So I don't get excited when I see any adverts about a Kumawood movie because once I see the adverts, I'm like, wait, yeah, like those are the only things. Those are the only things they try to put across. They should be dynamic. They should be creative enough. If they want to revive Kumawood, the producers should produce good concepts, good stories that will sell, good stories that will promote tourism in Ghana, good stories that will promote our rich Ghanaian culture, not something that tries to tarnish the image of Ghana. So if you're always putting the witchcraft concept out there and an outsider sees it, the person will think, oh, say Ghana they are before it's quite bad. That's why I've lost interest in Ghanaian movies.
Currently, someone would only see a title of a movie in Ghana and be like, oh, Fimwe, it's a Bay movie.
Yes.
Yes.
Fimwe.
You are able to tell what.
Shooting.
It's not supposed to be that way. Say, like, if, sorry,
in a movie.
So if you are trying to put up a concept and you are choosing titles for your movies, it should be abstract. It should be something that will cause me to watch the movie before I understand the topic, the title of the movie. It's not something I see this, maybe Mary's agony, and then I know that, oh, Mary will suffer this and that, then she'll become rich or she'll be established or something of that. So it should be abstract titles that will attract me to want to watch your movie. So I would go in for I would go in for a Nigerian movie anytime if the Ghanaian movie industry refuses to revive themselves and try to portray good concepts about our country. I can't promote something that doesn't sell well with my country.
Okay, so it's exactly a year Ebony passed away, and we are celebrating her 1 year anniversary, and people are still crying over her death. Others are also saying that what did she do at all that people are crying over her death? Someone who is past and gone.
Look,
Ebony did something right.
Yeah,
but she did nothing.
Wait, the three people have an adage. They say Tesharam Pro, right? Ebony was a singer. Ebony was someone. Okay, I loved her songs. My mom jams to her songs and all that. She was an inspiration to a lot of people. People looked up to her, even though Ghanaians judged her wrongly, saying her outlook and everything. Overlook these things. These things are just material. Overlook it. Check the personality of the person. Check the content the person is putting out there, the impact the person has on society. Up until now, I listen to Ebony songs and it feels like new. Like the girl was that good. And last year when this issue came up, the death came up, I was in the hospital, my brother was sick. And I just sat with my brother, I was feeding him when my mom told me. And I started shedding tears because I couldn't believe it. How can Ebony? She was so lively and all that. She was so full of life. She was cool and all that. How can she die just like that? But that's how life is. It just ends when you less expect it. So, well, I think the girl, she still lives on. Okay, personally, she still lives on to me because I still love her. I still jam to her songs. I enjoy her content a lot and all that. But Ghanaians, we are too judgmental. You understand? We try to promote the wrong of some person when the person is alive, and then when the person dies, now we know that the person is good, she did this, she did that. We should stop being hypocritical. It wouldn't help us as a nation. Right now we've lost her, so it's her 1 year. At least, if not for anything, we knew she had songs out there that played, that sold outside Ghana, that got people's attention outside Ghana. She did something for the nation. If not, she promoted Ghana in a way, right? So at least if we can't accept her for her dressing or her outlook, we can accept or appreciate her for that mark she made in Ghana. That would be the best. Her 1 year is on, and I think people are still emotional about it. Yesterday, radio stations were playing her songs and all that. It was quite sad to know that yes, indeed the girl is dead. Because me, after the death for about a month, I was still I refuse to take the fact that she's dead or accept the fact that she's dead. It came as a blow to all of us here.
Jeff, can you wrap up, say something about it?
I think it's so hurting, like to remember something like this. And one thing I want to say, or an advice I want to give, is that our leaders in Ghana shouldn't always look take up the monies or anything like that. They should see to stuff that would be of good benefit to us. In a state whereby we Ghanaians, if you don't die by road accident, then we won't see that this road here is fault. If you don't die by killing or kidnappers or anything like that, we won't see that there are kidnappers around. They should check that. Meanwhile, they pass the same road going through their hometowns and all that.
Okay.
This reminds us of them seeing to our roads and all that. That would really help. It's very painful though, but she's already gone.
Okay. Jeff, can you look into the camera? I can see you are so down about this Ebony's death. You are talking about roads in Ghana. Can you look into the camera and tell the government something?
Oh, to me, I think the government should always see to the same roads they pass to their hometowns, their homes and all that. They should try their only or possible best to always make sure our roads are good. If the roads were so good, she wouldn't have even died by then. So I think the government should also see to that for us as a nation. And it would even help us. It would improve our nation in so many ways.
Julia, do you have any suggestions to make?
Yes, well, I think Ghana as a country and then our...
Can you look into
Oh, okay. Ghana as a country and then our officials or our leaders should stop this act of waiting for tragedy before they strike or try to wait for tragedy before they do what is right. So they should always know that this is good and it has to be done. They shouldn't wait for the bad to happen before they take up initiatives to do what is right. I remember at Adenta when the overpass issue happened, people were dying. To the point that the youth in the community rose up against it. That if you don't do this, we won't allow that. That was only the point that the government knew upon himself that he was supposed to build footbridges for these people. Even after we've lost so many souls, it doesn't do us any good as a society. We should stop all these acts. We should concentrate on the necessary and stop doing what we think would be best for individual, like our individual selves as leaders. We think we voted for you into power to do the best for us and not to suit yourselves or do what is right for you. When and your families, put your families first ahead of we the layman or the common Ghanaian. It's not the best as a nation.
One thing they should know is that we are all equal. It's just that we've given you the opportunity to lead us and help us and guide us in some stuff. So in this situation, they should see to our needs. You get it?
Okay, so my guests are saying that as a country we are all equal, and those in power shouldn't look at their family first before considering us. This is the Reporters Weekly Review Show. Once again, I'm Akwalili and Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.